Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you might be. My name is Anta, and I'm going to be presenting at the FitTech Summit FIBO Edition. And my keynote is going to be on why the hybrid model may be the future of gyms in a post-COVID world. Hope all of you are doing well and keeping safe, and hope you can see my screen. So before we get into my keynote, I want to give you a little bit of background about myself. As I mentioned, I'm the CEO and co-founder of Auro. We are an audio fitness business. We provide audio guided classes curated with music for the gym, outdoors or home. And it connects with a wide range of wearable devices from Apple Watch to MyZone to Garmin, and it allows consumers to track their workouts in real time, compete on leaderboards, and engage with a vibrant community. So I started this business in 2017, and before starting this business, I spent 11 years at Goldman Sachs as an algorithmic trader, a very different day job to what I have today. I've always been into fitness, been a keen runner and a big consumer of boutique studio class content. And the idea for the business actually came from a pain point that I experienced where I wanted access to a high quality coach on an on-demand basis, and I couldn't find one. And I essentially decided to build a product for my own use case, which is now got hundreds of thousands of users. So without further ado, let's get into my keynote. So actually, I was here before 2 years ago. Natalia remembers me, and I was talking about why audio fitness is going to be a big trend, and how digital fitness is growing, and why people should be embracing it. And I was literally laughed out of the room. Interestingly, there were a lot of consumers where the product found resonance, and it's further validated by the number of users that we have gathered over the last 2 years, and particularly since COVID. But particularly the judging committee was kind of puzzled by our offering. They were curious as to why they even need to provide digital content, and they viewed digital content providers as a competition. And I will address why that attitude needs to change, and is already changing as we speak. A lot of people couldn't get their head around audio, and how audio could be a great medium of instruction for a fitness use case. It's a passive medium. It lends really well for a gym or an outdoor or even a home environment, like for hard physical activity when you can't really be squinting at a tiny piece of a screen. So that was 2 years ago. Fast forward to 2020, it's a very different conversation, and here I am presenting my keynote. So COVID had a massive effect, and this helped people like me come and present and give me a platform to present. But what it has done is has actually been in the works for a very long time. So digital fitness has been growing like at 32% CAGR since 2017. It was already projected to hit $27 billion in revenue by 2022, and this was pre-COVID. So these numbers will be significantly revised up. So, but digital fitness was already a key trend. There was a massive market, and the market was primarily on the App Store for content that being delivered to consumers both inside and outside the gym. To help them with their training, with structured plans, with motivation, with nutrition, with wellness. So there were, and that business was already in the hundreds of millions, if not the billions of dollars. And what COVID has done is really accelerated those businesses and compressed the growth of those businesses from over a period of years into a matter of months. So how big was this change? This is a report actually from a McKinsey publication where they talk about the change in consumption of various verticals. This is only for the US. And this covers the 2-week period between the 18th of March and the 1st of April when the lockdown when it took effect in the US. and the spend level on the at the consumer end. And what you see is that at-home fitness had like between a 30 to 35% jump in consumption over just that 2-week period. And it's probably one of the largest categories in terms of the size of positive movement. And then obviously the large negative categories were, of course, physical establishments and gyms. So essentially, COVID forced every player who was a physical player to really think about how they could engage their customer outside the gym and in a digital format, and it's really accelerated that. Just to touch on how big this change was, you can see it in some of the large players in the digital space. Obviously, Peloton is the leader in this pack. Their subscriber base grew, I'm just speaking of their quarterly reports, 64% year on year. This is their connected fitness subscribers or their hardware subscribers. And then their digital only subscribers, that also grows significantly, and they now have the best part of 200,000 digital subscribers in Q2 2020. As you know, we are a digital business. We have a similar product offering to Peloton, but our offering is much more focused on gyms and helping gym operators essentially compete with products like Peloton, which want the customer to cancel their gym subscription and work out at home, whereas our focus is more on helping physical operators try to compete with those digital players. And we also rode the wave of COVID, and we had a 5x jump in monthly subscribers in the first month of the lockdown. And as the months started to roll by, the growth continued. We are continuing to grow faster than where we were pre-COVID, but the rate of growth has slowed down as the months started to roll on, and more players entered into the market, and thereby increasing the competition in the market. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in the later half of my presentation. So what happened with COVID was, come April, pretty much every physical fitness offering was shut, and therefore they quickly realized that they had to offer digital content. And so the marketplace was crowded with digital offerings from a bunch of players who are native digital players like Auro or Peloton. And then you had previously players who only had a physical offering also putting out digital content offering. A lot of this content offering was actually non-monetized, so on Instagram videos or Facebook live sessions or just videos on their websites and so on. And this essentially crowded the market with a plethora of offerings. There were lots of personal trainers and studios as well who were putting content out at a very low price point, and essentially it started to impact the growth on the revenue side for a lot of players. And as the months have rolled on, what we have seen is more and more players have entered the space, and the most notable is the entry of the tech behemoths, which is both positive and negative. It validates the space significantly that the large tech players are looking at this space very seriously, and which means that this is a large revenue opportunity even at the scale at which these tech behemoths operate. But then it also poses an existential threat for the existing players, including gyms and other fitness players. So the largest one is, of course, the latest, which is Apple launching their Fitness Plus subscription, which works with their Apple Watch product at $10 a month. We've seen Google make the acquisition of Fitbit. This was pre-COVID, and now it looks like it's going to complete later this year. And then a couple of months or a few weeks ago, Amazon launched their own wearable, which provides guided coaching for users to around wellness and physical fitness. So the message that I wanted to convey is that the marketplace is now extremely crowded. There are a lot of well-entrenched, well-capitalized technology players who have significant advantages in terms of the quality of the offering that they put out, who are competing for the consumer wallet with traditional players who are physical players who may not have the same technology offering. And then also they're also competing with digital only native players who might have a great technology offering but then may not have the same reach as the physical players. And essentially I think a marriage of the physical and the digital players is the need of the hour. So what does the future of the gym look like? So, consumers previously were already consuming digital content, but I think the pace of adoption of digital content has significantly accelerated since COVID. There are many articles about how the growth of the industry that was forecasted to happen over 3 years has been compressed into a matter of months. And I think what is happening now is the consumer wants to have wellness content delivered to them, whether they are in the gym, whether they're outdoors, whether they are at home. And this ties in with what is happening in the workplace, as many workplaces, including Auro, are going to a hybrid model where workforces are going to be working remote for a significantly longer period of time than they were used to. And you are no longer going to be able to make to that gym exercise class that close to your office anymore. So maybe you need to change your gym membership, or maybe you want a digital offering that provides you content both in the gym when you're in the office, or at home on the days that you're working from home or outdoors. And I think so customers are really looking for offerings that scales the multiple touch points, both physical as well as digital. And they will look for a solution that has the best customer experience. And the winners in this market are going to be people who will deliver the best customer experience. So the customer is going to ideally want a product that solves their pain point across multiple touch points. The initial phase of the hybrid model that we are seeing is that there are partnerships that are happening between physical players and digital players. And I'll give you some examples in my next slide, where essentially if you buy a gym subscription, you get a digital subscription added on top for you to engage on the days that you're not able to make to the gym, or on the days that you're in the gym but you're not able to get into a group exercise class because it's booked out, or you want to train on your own, and so on. But then I think in the future, what will happen is these hybrid models will start to feature far deeper integration between the physical players and the digital first players. So an example could be, I want to try and make it to a 6 p.m. Spin class, but the 7 p.m. spin class, 6 p.m. is booked out and the 7 p.m. is canceled because the gym does not have the capacity to put out as much group exercise class content as it previously used to pre-COVID. But if the customer is now able to access a digital version of the 6 p.m. class at 6:30 p.m. and the studio is free and they can train on their own, but then get the guidance of the coach from a spin class, that equates to a great customer experience, and there's a win-win for both the gym as well as the customer. So what I think will happen in the future, and what we will see more of, is the emergence of these hybrid models, which feature far greater integration between the digital content and the physical content. With this, I want to also take an opportunity to talk about what are the examples of these partnerships that we are already starting to see. Just one second. So let me go back to full screen. So why, I think the next aspect that I wanted to cover is why it's important to nail the customer experience in a digital offering. So one of the trends that we have seen is particularly from a lot of non-digitally native players who have launched their first digital products, is that a lot of them think that their digital content is just recording a bunch of videos in a room and then putting it out there and then hope that the customer is going to engage with that content, and wow, I've ticked the box and that's it, the customer is going to be happy with it. But guess what, that's no longer going to be good enough, because the customer today is spoiled for choice. They've got amazing experience from digital first products such as Netflix or Spotify or Peloton. They want content that is personalized to them. They want content that refreshes daily or weekly. They want content that has great music. It's music that they listen to otherwise. They don't want to listen to crappy stock music, which is what most of these other offerings seem to be focusing on. And increasingly, what we are seeing is more and more customers want to have metrics on their workout. They want to know what their heart rate zones were, how hard they trained, how did they do the class this time compared to the previous time. And with significantly greater adoption of wearables, customers want that information to be presented to them when and after they work out. And and that whole package is what makes a great digital experience. And it's absolutely critical that people who are putting out digital content actually nail that entire experience and not just focus on trying to tick the box by just putting some content out there, because the customer has choice, as I mentioned, and they will automatically gravitate to the product that best serves their need in the digital space. They're not necessarily going to pick an inferior product just because it comes from a known brand, but they will pick a product which may not come from a brand that they engage with, but offers a superior offering. This is something that I touched on, that fitness videos and fitness experience, there's a massive experience divide. And in order to provide this great virtual fitness experience, you need to have content that spans across audio and video, that you can use on multiple screens on your iPad or your tablet or on your phone. And it needs to be trackable, it needs to be gamified. You need to be able to show the customer and their progress and take them on a journey towards their stated goal. It should have great music. It should have the ability for the customer to listen to their own music. So this was an interesting case study that I wanted to share with the listeners today. Is one of the most popular features that we were requested even before the pandemic struck was this ability to play your own music. And customers, that's again the consumerization of fitness. So customers today want to listen to their own favorite playlists while they are working out, and music is a great component of the workout experience. And having a workout class being tailored to their genre of music and the type of artists that they listen to significantly enhances the workout experience. The variety is another factor that we talked about. So customers are looking for classes that constantly refresh and also give them a breadth of content from running or walking to meditation or sleep, and that will keep the customer coming back for more. Again, here I wanted to share an interesting data point that we found with Auro, is that customers who engage with 3 or more of our categories were at least 5 times more likely to be retained with us on their renewals than customers who just engage with 1. So providing more variety to the customer increases the value proposition of the product offering to the customer and helps with retention. Another point that I wanted to tackle was this misnomer that digital fitness and physical fitness cannot coexist. I think the last time I presented, this was at least the commonly held belief that digital players are trying to eat the lunch of the physical players, and what we actually find is that that's not true at all. So this was a survey that was done in 2018, so well before COVID. And as you know, the millennials are the biggest users or consumers of exercise. This data is only for the US. So what I found to be really interesting was only about 8% of millennials said that using a digital product would make them less likely to use a traditional commercial gym. Whereas the vast majority of them, which is about 75% of them, said actually it has a significant or a slightly significant positive impact in terms of getting them to use the gym. And while these measures are consistent across Gen X as well. Obviously, it's a different experience in terms of the boomers, but it still does not take away the conclusion that we see is that digital fitness is actually a very nice complement to a commercial gym membership, and has become even more so given the impact of COVID and lockdowns. So here are some examples of hybrid models that are already emerging, and ones that I mentioned before. Planet Fitness, which is the largest operator, budget fitness operator in the US and globally as well, they teamed up with iFit. So Planet Fitness customers were able to access on-demand classes for the gym or home workouts on iFit. In Europe, Everyone Active launched an on-demand product priced at £10 a month that gives access to a bundle of services from multiple digital players with content spanning across video and audio for the gym or the home. We are also working, and we will be launching shortly with many partners in Europe with bundles, which allows their customers to access both digital as well as physical content, and with the digital content coming in from Auro. And as I mentioned, as we go further along on this journey, I think that these integrations that we see, they are first generation integrations where it is simply a bundle that the customer purchases, where there is no data exchange or value exchange between the physical partners ecosystem and the digital ecosystem. But as we move further along, I think there will be significant data exchange between the two ecosystems, which will then allow these offerings to become much more personalized. So if you have already done a spin session in your local gym, then the digital content that you get recommended is probably not going to be a cardio or a spin class, but more a strength or a meditation class that will complement the physical consumption that you've already consumed. So that data exchange and a deeper integration is what I believe we will see much more of as we go along. Here I would like to show you like a quick short video of a customer using a digital product. This was obviously shot with our own product, but this is what I think encapsulates what the future will look like. And I'll let you watch this video.
Lace up those shoes, and we're out of here. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, go. 60 seconds, tick them off mentally in your head, hunting down your finish line. That was amazing. My name's Freddie, and I'll see you guys soon. Nice work.
Great. As you saw in the video, the customer is now experiencing a combination of the physical as well as the digital product, and then the digital product will start to adapt the content based on their consumption of the physical product. So why does this bundle offering, or why does this hybrid offering make sense for both the digital player as well as the physical players? For the physical players, obviously it leverages the expertise and the extreme customer and focus of the digital players, and then enables the physical players to deliver a superior offering. The physical players are essentially competing with Peloton and now Apple Fitness Plus. So if your digital product is not up to scratch, guess what? The customer is going to pick a better offering that comes from Peloton or from Apple. So if you want to retain that customer, you need to have a digital product that is on par with what they can find elsewhere. For the digital players, it again helps them significantly expand their reach and tailor their offering for the customers' evolving needs, which is not just at-home content, but content that spans multiple touch points and actually offers significant value to the customer by creating this personalization that I talked about earlier, touching in multiple points in the customer journey between the physical and the digital. It provides a better product experience and a better for the customer. It gives them variety and flexibility. It keeps them coming back for more. It improves the retention both for the physical as well as the digital players, and it leads to a win-win outcome for all parties concerned. And it helps both the digital as well as the physical players compete better for that customer wallet against propositions like Peloton or Apple Fitness Plus, who might want the customer to work out only at home. So what the future could bring, I think I talked about a lot of this, so I will not spend a huge amount of time on this. It's a seamless experience. It's more deeper exchange of data across the various touch points and more personalization for the customer, leading to better outcome. Another point that I wanted to mention is that given COVID, there has been an increasing focus on wellness. This has been a trend that's been going on for the best part of 10 years. But I think this is only going to accelerate further given lockdowns and people's being stuck at home and people dealing with anxiety and stress. So a solution that spans across wellness, be it meditation or sleep or stress relief, rather than just physical fitness, has a better chance of winning compared to a solution that only focuses on fitness. So an offering that covers holistic wellness, be it nutrition, be it mindfulness, be it physical fitness, has a much higher chance of success with the customer play. In terms of the commercial opportunity that this new hybrid model presents for digital players as well as the commercial players such as the gyms. For the gyms, it obviously allows them to expand beyond their four walls. They can put a digital offering in there to try and win back previously churned customers. You could have had a customer who would churn in the summer because they don't want to go to the gym, but now you are able to engage them with audio content for them to work out on their holiday or when they go for a run on the beach or something like that. And then you are able to maintain that customer relationship and continue to make some revenue. Whereas previously that customer would have churned. It allows the gyms to add bundles and significantly increase their revenue streams. I totally see there being a possibility of providing personalization or personalized plans at scale through a digital offering, and the gyms essentially providing affordable personal training to consumers at scale, which will then increase retention and then again improve their bottom line. And partnering with a digital native first player will obviously allow them to go to market quickly and without having to spend a lot of time or money to learn from the mistakes that the digital players have already learned from and they specialize in, which is nailing the customer experience. For the digital players, it allows them to attract newer audiences and scale their offering more efficiently rather than competing with the tech behemoths on platforms like Facebook or Google. With that, I would like to complete my keynote. I'm happy to take any questions, any feedback, any comments. You can always reach me at anta@auro.fit, or you can find me on LinkedIn. So thank you for listening, and welcome any questions or feedback. Thank you.